Hi, everybody. I am back with you with one of my favorite people on the planet. This is my good friend and superstar. She's a superstar in Mary Kay, Lorena Cortez. And so my name is Jill Matthews. I'm a national director with Mary Kay. And I am just facilitating lots of fun conversations around our Mary Kay business. And I just want to introduce you to somebody that means the world to me. I discovered her, so I can take all the credit. Not. But anyway, I wanted just to have the rest of the world to get to see my good friend and my super special team member, Lorena Cortez. And so, Lorena, welcome. I'm so glad you're with us today.
Hi.
And Lorena is from Madison, Wisconsin. So I think it's almost spring there. No, I'm just kidding. It's 100 degrees in Dallas and almost spring in Madison. But no, it's we're so glad you're with us. And I just want to, before we jump into anything, I would love just to hear, how did you even come to be in Mary Kay? I mean, where did Mary Kay filtrate into your little mind, and where were you exposed to the product and the opportunity first?
Well, thank you for having me here. Hello, everybody. Actually, I met Jill at a network meeting. And I remember seeing that pink Escalade coming in every Tuesday morning, and I'll be like, here comes the lipstick lady. And then I met her. We became, I'm not going to say like super good friends because it was only every Tuesday. And then I started learning a little bit Mary Kay, but not the big picture. And then somehow I ended up working with Jill as her translator for social media, and then ended up taking an amazing trip to Mexico, where I got introduced to Mary Kay, big company, opportunity, women, everything, the big picture. And it was during a business trip, of course, for her, but I also got to experience a conference in Mexico, which is where I'm from. So it meant the world to me. And that's where I could say I fell in love with the company, the philosophy, everything else. Because as Jill knows, and every night for 8 days she saw me, I wouldn't even remove my makeup. And I would fall asleep like this, wake up, and just retouch it. And Jill hated it every night. It was so funny to see her face, like, are you gonna do something? So I didn't even try the makeup. I fell in love with Mary Kay. And then the product came after, and of course, I'm obsessed with that too. So yeah, that's how I got to translate and meet Jill Matthews, the person, the love that she has for the company and everything else, and hear a story about Mary Kay Ash. And that's what I translated on stage, one of my biggest fears. Then I learned later on that it's not even a fear. But yeah, that's how I ended up with Mary Kay. And here I am 3 years later.
I still love hearing Lorena tell that story. I was working in Mexico, and I had a trip to go to Mexico City, and my translator fell out at the very last minute, and I was desperate to have a translator because I know enough Spanish to order a margarita and maybe get an enchilada, maybe some salsa. So my Spanish is very limited, and so I remembered Lorena from our networking meeting. And I know maybe you believe in this or maybe you don't, but I just believe God always is putting the right people in your path, and you don't know why. You may not even see it like going the way it's going to go. But I remembered her, and I thought, oh, maybe she would go to Mexico with me. And so that's exactly how our little relationship went from acquaintances to BFFs in like that fast. Yeah. So I remember that. And she did have to translate. I think she thought she was going to translate to 1 or 2 people. And I put her on a stage in front of about 300 or 400 people. And
yeah.
Lots of growth opportunities in that trip. Lots of growth. And I made her wash her face. I did make her wash her face.
Yes.
So Lorena, so I know you fell in love with Mary Kay, the company first, the product second, which is a little upside down compared to a lot of people fall in the product first and then the company second. So you're just the opposite. You fell in love with the company first and the product second. But there were some things that may have held you back from saying yes to this opportunity. There's maybe some things in your heart and your head that was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Talk to me a little bit about what was something that was just holding you back about saying yes to the opportunity.
Well, I don't think it was something. It was someone. And that someone was me. because I had a very low self-esteem, first of all, which I mentioned that one time and they're like, no, you don't, which I thought I did. I felt like I did. I doubted myself tremendously. That was the biggest thing. Doubt, fear. I used to say, I can't sell. I hate selling. I cannot sell. And what if somebody tells me no? Oh my gosh, that's scary. And so right away, I think it was myself that held back for about 2 years. Because before Mary Kay, Jill did mention before Mexico, Jill did mention Mary Kay to me for 2 years. And I kept saying no and no and no, but it was that fear of me saying there's no way I could possibly pull into somewhere and drive a pink Escalade or a pink Cadillac or anything. There's no way I could do that. I don't have that in me. And so that's one of the things the biggest thing that held me back for a long time. And even the day I signed the agreement on the computer, I was still doubting myself. I still said, I'm just going to do it, but nothing's going to happen, So the biggest one was me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I.
But wow, a few things have happened. Oh my gosh, the success story that Lorena has is just, it's really nothing short of a miracle. It's just been such a joy for me to get to watch her explosion of confidence and her explosion of passion for this business. She is a very, very passionate person. And I think that radiates in everything she does. And it's just interesting the mindset we walk into this, and then how some of those things just melt away once we're in our culture and we see that support. And there's always going to be somebody there to dust you off and put you back on the road and to encourage you. So I know that has been helpful for you, but there's a lot of strong characteristics that Lorena has, but I wanted her to share. What do you feel like, maybe one or two, you can share whatever you want to, but one or two characteristics that has really allowed you to be successful as a leader in Mary Kay? Because you walked in with this set of ideas, but then there's some characteristics that kind of took over and allowed you to be successful. What do you think they are?
Honestly, the love and the passion that I have I think it was awesome that I got to meet the company itself. And so therefore, I'm a very passionate person. I'm a person that, like, if I fall in love with something, I give it my all. And so I fell in love with Mary Kay and the opportunity and everything that it's done for me in the way. And so that has allowed me to share Mary Kay, the love, the growth, everything else that comes with it that is positive. And so that has allowed me to grow, because I've been able, when I speak about it during our facials or trainings or everything, it's something that just comes out natural, and that everybody's like, wow, you really love what you do. And so therefore, I always say that you're going to attract what you say and what you give. And so that's what has allowed me to be successful.
Yeah. And she's magnetic, and I will just tell anybody that's watching, follow her on all her social media, because it's electric. It's electric. And what fun. I mean, it's so much fun for me just to literally kind of be the abuela in the group and just watch her really fall into what I believe God has designed for her a long time ago that she didn't know about. Well, Lorena, you've got a full house as well. So you're not just doing Mary Kay. You've got a few responsibilities outside of Mary Kay. And I would love for you just to talk a little bit about your family. She's married to a very successful military man. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about Lorena Cortez outside of Mary Kay as Lorena Cortez, wife and mother?
Well, I am married. I have been married for 19 years this year to an Air Force guy. Amazing. Everything. He's my everything. My JoJo. Everybody knows him as JoJo. I have 3 kids. I have an 18-year-old, I have a 14-year-old, and I have a 12-year-old, and they're all boys. So I'm the queen of the house, which I'll take. And then I have 2 puppies. We have Baby and we have LaVey. And we are military. And so we have moved a lot. I mean, from one place to another. I've lived in Texas, New Mexico, Utah, here. And it's been really challenging to have to move all the time, but it's really neat that we get to experience and meet new people and different opportunities and everything, and that I get to bring my business with me. That's a plus. But yeah, I mean, 3 boys plus my husband, We have 4 kids.
Yeah, just in case you're wondering, JoJo's not ever leaving. So
no, no.
Kids will move on someday, but JoJo's
yeah, he retires next year, so it's really actually that's always been on my vision board to have a career where I'm going to be able to say, oh, you get to retire. Well, you don't really have to work, but you should. You should, but you don't have to. No. But it's been really neat to be able to have that, to help and to know that it's going to be there, so it's been really neat. And we're a Mary Kay family. I could tell you that right now. We are a Mary Kay family. My kids cannot go to Walmart or anywhere where there's makeup. And if they see somebody that's attempting to buy makeup, they'll say, hey, my mom has Mary Kay. It's really neat. Yeah, my family is great.
You are a Mary Kay family, and I can remember very vividly, just for the people watching, I can remember when Lorena won her very first career car. It's always a big, huge celebration, and it was freezing cold here in Dallas, Texas, and she had got everybody ready to go. She didn't know what to expect. She'd never done anything like this. This was all new to her. And I was so impressed when I got to the dealership to celebrate her for picking up her keys to her free car. Her sons had made these beautiful poster boards, and there was just this huge love. They feel like they had earned the car with you. And it was just, it really showed that this is a family business. And I think so many people don't know that part.
Well, and they did earn the car. Remember?
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like it was crazy to see, especially my 14-year-old now, Halo. He was like, Mom, how many more people do we need? Mom, how much more do you need to sell? Mom, how many parties are you having this month? And he actually got to press the button to order the car because it was him and pushing me and telling me. And they just believed in me. I remember that when I became a director, remember they had flowers without even knowing if I was going to make it. So it's been a really fun journey to have with them. And they bleed pink like me.
Yeah. I love that, because I think we all as women, and especially as moms, we want our kids to be proud of us. And I have really seen that outpouring from JoJo as well as from your kids, that they're not just love you because they're their mom or their wife, they're proud of you. And I think that's, gosh, I get almost weepy just talking about that, but I got to move on to some other questions. But I love that part of the story. So talk to me just a little bit about one of your, I believe your strongest characteristics is you were a natural born leader. And I know she doesn't think she was when she came in, but it is so evident that you're a natural born leader. And I know you love your girls, as you call them. So talk to me about what is it that makes that such a joy to lead your team and to help them strategize with goals and help them reach their goals.
I actually love what you're just bringing up because, like you said, I love my girls. And the reason why I joined Mary Kay when I finally said yes was that because when I was in Mexico and I was on that stage translating for you, I remember looking down at all these women. And I know that sounds weird, but I actually saw like their bubbles, like cartoons. And I saw like women with dreams and goals and just struggles, just like I felt at that moment, and I was like, I can't do this. And some of them felt like that, and their smiles and their tears of excitement and all of that. And I remember saying, that's what I want. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to help women develop those God-given talents, because we all have a talent that God gave us. And I want to help women feel encouraged and loved and valued and overcome their fears. And so I love being a leader now because I see that in all my girls and just stories that we hear, Jill Matthews. And I know that you have so many stories, but just hearing even the smallest of stories, like, oh my gosh, I was able to put gas today because I sold the charcoal mask, or oh my gosh, we pay rent, or I have self-confidence now. I feel valued. I've been able to get out of this because of what I'm growing into with Mary Kay. I'm learning makeup. I feel beautiful. All of those things to me mean the world. And so that's what makes me want to continue. That's what makes me want to get up. Besides my kids, I always say, my kids and my family, of course. But we always have to find what we love and what we're here for, besides what we already know what we're here for, right? And so I love that I get to see that every day, and that every day I expect and wait for those texts of I sold the lipstick, or this happened, or guess what? Somebody told me no, but it's okay because I'm gonna get 3 yeses. All those things to me means the world. I love it. I absolutely love, and it's one of my favorite things about my job, honestly.
It is. It is. And there's not a conversation that Lorena and I have that she's not like, well, let me tell you about her and let me tell you about her. So for her consultants that are watching this video, I can tell you she brags on you constantly. It's just our conversations are 2 hours long because she has to tell me what everybody is up to. You know what? That's just taking pride and knowing that you're right where God has planted you for sure. And speaking of that, I know something about you that I want you to share with the world. Our Mary Kay world is a little different in the fact that we talk very openly about our values and our convictions. And in Mary Kay, we have a code that we talk about. Our mission is to put God first, family second, and career third. And Mary Kay very clearly said in that order, everything works, and outside that order, nothing works. And I know that's something that resonates with you and is really something that is touching. I can remember vividly us talking about that, and you almost became emotional because that's something that was really important to you. So share how that philosophy has bound you to the company.
Well, first of all, that's one of the reasons why I think I fell in love with the company, because I learned that. And you don't see that very often anymore, where somebody runs God first, family second, career third. Unfortunately, with the world and how everything is nowadays, sometimes it's more about money. Right, and I need to make this much money to be able to hold my family. And then we forget sometimes about, God. We forget that if we don't run things that certain specific way, nothing's going to work. And it's happened to me before where I forget and I want to take control of my business or my family. And then I say, whoa, no, you can't take control. So I love the fact that we are, ever since I joined, we always start with a prayer. It doesn't matter what kind of event we're at. It doesn't matter if it's 2 people or 1,000 people. Mary Kay always starts with prayer. And I remember that was one of the things that I would be like, wow, I don't even know how to pray. Remember one time you told me, can you do prayer for the meeting? And I was like, no, because I don't know what to say. And you're like, just open your mouth and say it, and I was able to. So I've learned that it's God first, no matter what. Because if you allow God to come in first with your family and your business, your family is going to be taken care of. Your family is going to feel secure of what you're doing. Your family is going to feel loved. You're going to feel okay and happy. And we all know what we say. If we're happy, everybody else is happy, right? And as far as business, I've learned to give it all to God. And I always say, God, you know where you put me. Because like you said before, I was placed on that stage for a reason. I was placed on your life for a reason. You were placed on my life for a reason. And I really know and believe and trust that God put me in this opportunity for a reason. And so I love that I've learned to say, God, take the wheel. Wherever you need me, wherever I need to go, wherever you want me, I'm there. And it's allowed me to let go, but be there as a good mentor, as a good leader, but at the same time, let go and just let things flow. And it always works out His way, So yeah, definitely God first, family second, and career third. And I love that we get to do that. Like my son just had to have surgery, and I was able to say he's first, and right. And I didn't have to call to apologize. It was the complete opposite. You were texting me. The girls, my phone has been like, how's Halo? What do you need? Do you need anything? Do you need me to go to the store for you? And I'm like, wow, that's awesome. That's really, really cool. So I love God first, family second, career third. Because if you do that in that order, everything's going to work. Everything's going to work.
Yeah, Mary Kay was really wise when she set those principles up, because I think we all can get confused or distracted. And when we get distracted, that's when maybe we don't make as good a choices as we could. And so I love seeing you work your business from that platform, and to be not to be shy about it. And I think in our world, there's so many people picking everything apart, but yet that's something that I think we unanimously stand for. And I love that about you. That's another part of our sisterhood that I love. So I know we kind of talked about your family just a little bit, but is there any one particular thing that you feel like Mary Kay has impacted your family? I mean, is there, whether it be the car or whether it be an experience or just your change and your growth, is there anything that you feel like Mary Kay has directly impacted your family?
All of the above. I mean, just the fact that I earned my car in 10 months, that was big. That was huge because it freed. My husband was the only one that always worked, because something about me is that I don't like nobody telling me what time to get there, what to wear, what not to wear, when to leave. If I could go to my kids' activities and all of that. So my husband always had to hold the fort completely, and he still does. But having that car freed him from saying, I have to purchase a car for you. It's a monthly payment. It's a monthly insurance, all of that. So definitely the car. Becoming a director, that was a big thing for me. Because of course, when you're a director, your pay is higher. So that has helped a lot. The trip, everything. But the biggest one is what it has done with me, because I have been able to give value to my kids. I remember one specific thing was that my son Sebastian was doing a track meet, and he was hurt. And you remember the story, but he was hurt, and there was no way that he could run that track meet. But his teammates were depending on him. His team was depending on him, and he was hurt. And he said, "I'm running that race." And I remember saying, "You can't, Sebastian." And he said, "You always say that no matter what, you finish." And I was like, and I was like, when did I say that? You forget. And he's like, you always say that. When you're doing your trainings, you say that. You always tell us that. And you always say when you're finishing a goal and you are maybe far from it, you always say, I'm not stopping until the last second. So just those values that I've been able to, show the kids, show my husband the respect that they have for the company, the respect that they have for my job. It's just a lot of things that I think have made an impact in the family. Just what it has made of me. Let's be honest. It's made me a complete different person. It's proven that I am a leader, that I'm not shy. I'm not any of those things that could have stopped me. So yeah, and everything.
It's so amazing. Mary Kay used to say, it's not what's taught, it's what's caught. Yeah. And I think our kids definitely, and I've often said that my kids learn more from me missing a goal than they did from me making the goal, because they saw how I handled it. Mm-hmm. And if we don't teach our kids that there's going to be ups and downs and all arounds, then we've kind of failed as a parent. And this business opportunity, because they're so involved, allows them to see that. And that's so valuable. Well, I'm going to ask you two more questions and then we'll wrap it up. But I want to ask you, there's so many people, and they asked me this today. It's funny. I've been in business for over 31 years and, certainly the breadwinner for my family for all these years. But the people still ask me, is Mary Kay a real job? Is that a real career? Yeah. You really get paid? So I know you've experienced that question as well. So how do you handle that when somebody's asking you if Mary Kay's, if it's a real job or if it's real money?
I get it all the time. I think it's funny how people even say, it just happened to me recently. Somebody asked, we were in a group and somebody said, well, what do you do? And what do you do? And then they get to me and somebody said, oh, she takes pictures and sells lipsticks. And I was like, whoa, no, I have a job. So, and I get that all the time. Is it even a real job? Are you even making money for sure? The way I handle it is just by teaching them, by educating them on what we really are doing, by telling them my story, by sharing my befores and afters, by just doing a facial and saying, sit down, let me tell you what I do. Let me show you. If you don't think it's a real job, let me show you. Let me tell you about my butterflies, which is my unit. Let me tell you about their stories. So I just teach them. I just show what Mary Kay is.
Right.
And that's pretty much all we could do. And we show them it's a real job. Or I simply say, come here, let me show you what's on my driveway. And then I point to my car and I say, there's my car. It's a real job.
It's a real job, for sure.
I wouldn't get a car for a fake job.
That's right. Yeah, I've said forever that, sometimes they just need to touch it, see it, touch it, and so you've done a great job with that. So, okay, so Lorena, there's going to be a lot of people that are watching this video. They may be kind of looking at you going, okay, she's young, she's beautiful, she's confident. There's all sorts of different things, but there may be somebody watching this video that just says, oh, it sounds good, but I don't know if it's for me. And I would like to, and there's just something holding them back. So what would you say to somebody that's watching this right now? What would you say to just say, quit being scared, jump in? There's, the water's fine. I mean, tell me what you would say if somebody's looking at this video and considering a business opportunity with Mary Kay.
I would just say, go for it. Jump. You never know what it could take you. And what's the worst that could happen? You're going to get a full kit of all kinds of goodies that you could use for yourself. And that's it. That's the worst that really could happen, I remember you told me that plenty of times. Lorena, what's the worst that could happen? You're going to start a skincare. You're going to get some free stuff. And that's it. I never thought that by saying yes, I was going to be experiencing everything that I am. And I still have way more to go because I have goals. I would say jump because it's going to teach you to run a business. It's going to teach you self-value, which is super important for females. I love that. It's going to teach you that you can. I know one of my favorite quotes, Mary Kay, is one woman can. And I always believe that one woman can, and that woman is you. And so if you don't give it a try, you're not going to find out. You're always doubting. I always say, if I would have said yes to Jill 2 years before, where would I be right now? And yes, everything's at the right timing, but I always also believe that if opportunity is in front of you, there's a reason for it. And I know that when I share the opportunity to somebody, it's for a couple of reasons. One of them saying, I saw the potential, I believe in that person. Something about that person, I said, wow, she would be really good at this. We just don't go to anybody and say, hey, you should join Mary Kay. No. So I think, and I've learned that if somebody is offering you an opportunity, take it as an opportunity. And it's an investment on yourself. And I never thought that bag, that kit was going to bring everything that it has, including this house. Because once again, for the financial freedom that I'm being able to share with my husband, we were able to purchase our own house, our first home after 19 years, of being married. So it's been really neat. So I just say jump for it, jump. Do it, try it, give yourself an opportunity. That's the biggest thing that I would say. Give yourself an opportunity to believe in yourself, believe in your potential, and believe that you can do it. You can do it. So that's what I would say. That's what I always say. Just give it a shot.
You do such a good job. I get excited just talking to you. And I just want to say thank you for spending your day with me today. And I just love showing you off to the whole world because, I already told you I discovered her. I just want everybody to know that. So anyway, literally, I want to say to anybody that's watching this video, I hope you've been blessed by it. I hope that something tickled your heart or tickled your mind and just said, I don't have anything to lose and everything to gain, because whoever sent you this video thought enough of you to want you to be in their Mary Kay world. And we protect our culture and our sisterhood fiercely. So someone thinks a lot of you to even have sent you this video to even offer this business opportunity to you. And Lorena and I both agree that you're never going to know unless you try. So we want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your 30 minutes with us. And I'm so glad you got to know one of my favorite people on the planet. And my sister in so many different ways. So many different ways. Yeah. But I want to say thank you for being with us and joining us today. And hopefully we'll see you on this side very soon.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.